everyone comes in. Testing, testing, 1, 2, 3. Testing, testing, Pikachu knees. Testing, testing, Ollie oxen free. Let me turn that off. Testing, testing, T minus 10, 9, 8, 7, 6. Turkey sandwich, turkey sandwich. Let me refresh the page. Oh, I don't have to. It's already loading up. Great, there I am. So, Ollie oxen free. Testing, testing, 1, 2, 3. LA, are you there? Can you hear yourself, girl? We're about to find out right now. Let me see. Testing, testing, 1, 2, 3. Presents. Let me see. Testing, testing, 1, 2, 3. So I successfully made it through the sound check, quality check, audio check. And now I can move forward and get this light from blinding my eyes. My eyes! Oh, my eyes! Let me see if I can make that light a little bit softer so it doesn't hurt. Okay. Now let me see how the light looks on there before I really get going. Shrek, don't go changing. Dooba 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 dooba, don't go changing. It's Shrek. Look, Shrek, I'm trotting. Listen, donkey. Now, wouldn't that be funny on the Breakfast Club if they gave Donkey the donkey of the day? Not because he did something wrong, just because it's funny. Oh my goodness. So the sound check went great. Good morning, everybody. I'm a little early intentionally, so while that happens, I can finish getting ready behind the scenes. Good morning. We are rolling into November 3rd, and I am ready for the ride. We are getting ready and fully approaching the end of 2025. 2025 has been a wonderful year for me. Lots of things have been checked off the list as far as personal goals and successes, and I cannot complain, and I will not complain. Now, let me see here. The lighting is good for me. And my cell phone is comfortable, but I've got this ring light to my left, which will probably be your right. That's still a little too bright. Let me dim down just a smidget more. And since I have a little time, I have the flower of the day before we get into the topic and have everyone come in. The flower of the day can refer to a specific flower chosen for each day. Look at this. Look at my lotion. It's got cow on it. Murr. The flower of the day is specific flower chosen for each day, a birth flower based on current month or specific type of flower. I think the AI overview is going to be, it generated an automatic answer for me in reference to the November flower. So I want to read about it. The flowers. Let me put some flowers in the chat. Bam. So we have today's date is November. It's not November 2nd. The computer telling me it's November 2nd, y'all. I think today is the 3rd. So AI overview, y'all, it's Monday, November 3rd. AI overview is still sleeping because it says today's day is November 2nd. And the birth flower for November is the Galaceus or poppy, though some lists may vary. Let's see here. Yeah, it is. It is. It's the body butter kind. Do you remember the original lotion, the cow lotion that came out in 2001, 2002? It's called Utterly Smooth. Yeah, so I thought that was cool too. I had to find me some Utterly Smooth lotion. Also, simply for in the name of cows. So yeah. We have cow lotion, Utterly Smooth, and then this lotion here you can get like at Aldi's or not Aldi's, not O'Reilly's. Oh my gosh, no, you cannot buy that at O'Reilly's. What's it called? Oh, child, I don't forgot what the name is. If I see it, it's like Big Lots, but not Big Lots. But I forgot what it is. So yeah, the November's flower here. Let me see if I can find. Let me find another flower that referenced that. There is I touched the flowers part. They're showing me animals though, so this must represent nature. Here it is. Oh boy, looky, 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 looky. Ah, that's so cute. So, a common dayflower, also known as the white-mouthed dayflower, is a plant whose delicate flowers only last for a single day. Well, goodness. It's a once-in-a-lifetime flower. Birth flower for November. November has two birth flowers, the Galladius and the poppy. Galladius, a tall flower with vibrant colors. It can symbolize strength of character, faithfulness, and infatuation. The poppy, a flower that often represents remembrance, but can also symbolize sleep, peace, and consolation. Other flowers of the day. There's more flowers of the day, y'all. Some sites choose to highlight a different flower each day, like the iris for its wide variety of colors, or the toothache plant. Wow. Known for its tingling sensations. Some cultures have a specific flower associated with a holiday, like the Simpachutsi or marigold for the Day of the Dead. Well, that's some information about plants and stuff before I really get started with the show. Good morning, everybody. Welcome to Morning Mood, Motivational Madness, or somewhere along those lines, where I want to help move, and move power, move your work week. Morning Mood Madness. Thank you for coming in. How is your week going so far? And it's like, LA, how could they possibly know how their week is going and they just started? Oh my gosh, why are you asking such tough questions and you just started the show? Don't give me a sass, girl. It's too early in the morning for sass. How can you wake up first thing in the morning and be sassy? I just don't know. Mine's is peaceful too. I went to sleep yesterday, of course, but I went to sleep and it was a peaceful day, and I woke up, it was a peaceful day. So I knew, based on yesterday, today was going to be a peaceful day. Hi! Hey y'all, good morning. How are you doing? Thank you for coming in. My day is turning out peaceful as well, and I haven't even had any coffee yet. That's amazing, isn't it? So it's November 3rd, Monday, 2025, and the time for me is 4:58 a.m. I started about 10 minutes early ahead of time to be sure I had the sound and audio check done. I just finished reading about the flower of the day, just for filler, but fun filler. Last Monday or Tuesday, I read about something of the Farmer's Almanac about the weather or something. Did I do that? Yeah. I tell you, man, peaceful days. That's great to see that you guys are having peaceful days. I am so happy for you and about that. Those are the days you treasure. Those are the moments you hold on to. So when and if another dark time come, hey, what's going on? Thank you for coming in. You can always have something to go back to. I think it's very important to be grateful for what you have, but also to have new things come along through your life as life keeps lifing, because we always are going to hit some dark times, right? But you want to look back at a miracle that may have happened that is a little more current than 30 years ago. You know, we are supposed to be grateful for what we have, but I think 30 years is a long time for something not to happen. So I am thankful for those moments we have in between that are new miracles, new things to be thankful for that haven't been dated so long in the past. I mean, if I have to reach back in my past to do that, I will. But it sure is nice to take a look around. Say, you know what, last month I had so many great days last month. I've never had this many great days in a long time, you know, so I'm really happy, guys. Round of applause for you. Hey, how you doing? Thank you for coming in. Good morning. Welcome to the Morning Mood Monday Motivational Madness, where I want to help move, and move power, move your work week. No better way to start your work week than over here with me and my cool peeps, just hanging out, having a good time. Meow, 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 meow. Or should I say, moo, 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 moo. And I'm comfortable in my onesie. Thank you. I gotta sing like a cow. What's going on? Thank you. Shoo moo 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 moo. Shoo moo 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 moo. Shoo moo 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 shoo moo 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 moo. Singing along with a cow. Isn't that something? I bet you weren't expecting to sing a song and dance cow. Now, I've heard of song and dance cat by way of Cats Don't Dance movie, Danny the Song and Dance Cat. But never until today have I heard of a song and dance cow. Well, you keep living and you never know what in the world you'll come across. Like, Mom, I saw a song and dance cow on YouTube. They're gonna be like, you did. It never ceases to amaze me what in the world you're gonna find. Not in the wonderful world of Disney, but the wonderful world of YouTube. Next time on the wonderful world of YouTube. We have a song and dance cow brought to you by me, LA. I had a very nice, what else is it to call it? Halloween weekend. Now, it's been a long time since Halloween fell on the Friday. To me, it's right up there with Friday the 13th. You know, it's a once-in-a-lifetime event. So I was really happy for everybody who wanted to get out and do their thing for the Halloween festivities, simply because it fell on the Friday. So that meant the kids didn't have to get up and go to school. The parents didn't have to really worry about the kids eating too much candy, because, you know, oh, you gotta go to school tomorrow and you're gonna be all hyped up on candy. It wasn't anything like that. So heck, I was happy for everybody involved, including myself. We ate candy. I ate lots of candy. Oh man, that was really fun. So yeah, I ate a lot of candy. Hi, I sure did. I have stacks of notes here. It never fails, y'all. Look at all this paper filled with notes. There's a few loose leaf papers in here, like blank pages, but I tell you, in 1 to 2 weeks time, I have so many notes based on every day I'm on here. So I have my Power Rangers notes. These actually need to be put in the binder. Here we go again for the regular cool peeps who come on. Here we go. I was doing really well, but when I went hard last week, y'all. I went so hard last week. You ate so much candy. You ate half the pillowcase and you lived to see another day. High five. Bam. Now that's tough. Ain't that tough enough? Do. Ain't that tough enough? You're tough, man. You ate all that candy and you made it through. See, I know that's right. You got to have a tough stomach for Halloween. You have to start training ahead of time for this day, because it only happens once a year. It's like when you're going to a buffet. You're like, tomorrow I'm going to the buffet. I am going to make sure I don't eat the day before, so I can assure that my stomach is completely empty, so I can go to the buffet and pig out comfortably. I don't want to get full so fast when I'm going to the buffet. I want to be so hungry. I'm sorry that Halloween was the pitch for you this year, but if you want to, you can have a new Halloween. You can plan like a Halloween makeup day. I mean, we can do a lot of cool things. So have you thought about making a Halloween makeup day? And it can be fun. And then that's something you can like go down in history, like Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer. You'll go down in history. So yes, you can make it up. Yeah, man, you got to fight back. And that's the fun way you can fight back. My husband taught me when we first started dating. That was 11 years ago. I was having the day where it was just, he must have saw me coming undone for the first time. Now I wasn't coming undone like I turned into Cruella de Vil. Everybody pays. It wasn't anything like that, but I had a lot of pressure going on, and I was like, I gotta wait till tomorrow to start my day over. He was like, you don't gotta wait till tomorrow to start the day over. What I do to start my day over is make a new pot of coffee, and then that instantly resets my day. And I'm like, make a new pot of coffee. A new pot of coffee. I never thought of that. So I was open for that, Hey, I'm open for suggestion when it's in the name of helping make my life better. So I tried it. And you know what? It really helped. I'm like, oh my goodness, you are a lifesaver. It's the miracle. Cue the ugly cry. Ah, boo. Okay. Oh man, I'm glad you guys are here hanging out with me. Just a moment, I'm streaming live from my cellular phone, and I need to fix the backlighting. There it goes. Something was a little off on my end, and it was because of my backlighting. So today, this will be the third installment of It's Morphin Time. Mighty Morphin Power Rangers back by popular demand. We did a survey not yesterday. Where's the time going, y'all? We did a survey last Monday when I talked about Power Rangers, and there was just so much more to talk about, and I didn't rush into it, which is why we're here talking about Power Rangers now. But before we get started, we have to do the cows in the chat song. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children, pets, plants, animals, artificial intelligence, and all living, breathing things here under the sun. Welcome to Elay TV, Morning Mood, Monday Motivation, or something along those lines. It is time for Cows in the Chat. Meow, meow, meow. Cows in the Chat is a segment where we put cows in the chat, animal emojis in the chat, or your favorite emojis in general in the chat, while I sing a little song that goes like this. Harmonica, please. Thank you. Cows in the chat, cows in the chat, moo. Cows in the chat, cows in the chat. Cows in the chat, cows in the chat, moo. Cows in the chat, cows in the chat. This is the time where I'd like to take the time out to apologize to the cows, aka bovine, moo moo moo, moo moo, moo moo moo, bovine, moo moo moo, moo moo. Moo, moo, moo. Bovine! I like to say I am deeply and utterly sorry from the bottom of my three stomachs. The bottom of my three stomachs. That the science people who run the world, aka NASA, have placed global warming on the precious cows and the alleged impending doom on the cows. I am so utterly sorry. Here at Elay TV, we like cows and we definitely appreciate them, right? So I want to just say I am deeply sorry that they are placing the blame of global warming and the alleged impending doom on cows. I guess they ran out of people to blame, and now they're starting to place the blame on animals. My wackos wish until kingdom come, and every time I'm on here for Morning Mood, is to ask NASA to do us a solid. Since you done basically messed up planet Earth for all my beautiful family, friends, and cool peeps who actually love living here, since NASA wanted to have a field day and make everything crazy, can you give us a peace offering of a unicorn? Can you say, we're the NASA people, we know we really messed up really bad, so here's a peace offering, a little splash of color, and hope that anything is possible if we allow it. Here's a unicorn. Can we have a unicorn? Yes, exactly. Cows didn't do anything. So why is NASA placing the blame of global warming on us? Oh, moo. Moo. Boo. Hold that. Don't place the blame on moo. And the last thing I want to ask the NASA people, while you're out in your lab having fun with CERN, we want you to please bring us a unicorn. And I also want you to please do us the solid and bring us a strawberry cow. I mean, you create everything else under the sun. Can you at least do that? Can you imagine all the colors of the cows in unison, just standing on the prairie or wherever they stand and looking cute? You see a black and white cow, you see a brown and white cow, and then you see a white and pink cow, and it'd be like the Neapolitan ice cream. It's a miracle. And I say to myself, what a wonderful world. Oh, shoo moo 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 moo. Shoo moo 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 moo. If only, if only. But if I don't repeat it, it will never come to pass. So, shouts out to planet Earth and all the cool people who love planet Earth. High five. Bam. Thank you guys so much for coming in, liking, sharing, commenting, and subscribing. Really holding it down already. And we're only 20 minutes in. You're only 20 minutes in. And look how many cool peeps have participated in today's survey. Let me walk up to the survey part, or scroll up to the survey part, and see here what we have. We have here, if the survey will allow me, Bella Swan from Twilight wants to read the survey. Do y'all want Bella Swan from Twilight to come up here and read the survey? Where's my water? Here come Bella Swan. Did you eat too much candy over the weekend? 40% said yes, 45% said no, and 5% said I ate cookies and cakes instead. I know that's right. And 10% said I just drank water. Who's just drinking water? Leave them alone. That's what they did. That's what they did. Leave these fine people alone. We don't want to scare them away. Goodness. I have cereal, of course, and today's cereal is Fruit Loops. We have Fruit Loops in the Heezy. I'm Bella Swan. Thank you. Round of applause for Bella Swan from Twilight for reading the survey. Let me open the door so I can get a little more air in here. What's going on, Big Papa? What's going on? High five. Ayo! Good morning to you. It is a 5:14 a.m. November 3rd. Monday for all of my cool peeps, and for some of y'all it's still yesterday. Y'all still weighing on the cuff stuff Sunday evening for some people around the world. So happy Sunday Eve for some of y'all, and happy morning move Monday motivational madness for the rest of us. I am here to help move power move your work week. No other place to be. Thank you for coming in. Hello. Hi. Like the Cricket Verizon. Now, that's too many words. It's not Cricket Verizon Wireless. It's just called Cricket Wireless. With those cute little green people, they be like, hi, bye, yo. So, yes, I have my cereal in hand. And today is the third series installment by popular demand of Power Rangers. We left off pretty much me reading the summary thanks to AI overview. It was a side-by-side comparison of the green Power Ranger versus the white Power Rangers and how their powers, compared and contrast. I thought that was the most coolest thing because I'm just reading cool facts about Power Rangers, and I scroll up and I see this chart, and I'm like, AI overview, shut your mouth. it done provided for me a really cool chart that I didn't even ask for, and it was fun to read. But by that time, it was getting close to my time to leave, and so I was like, do y'all want me to roll it into next week? And here we are. I normally eat the chocolate on Halloween, but most of it looks old. Oh no, yeah, like with Halloween, I'm like an adult now. But when I was like in my late teens and stuff, I think I still did trick-or-treating. I know I did in my late teens because I looked so young. So I was thankful for still looking like a kid, even in my 20s. So I was able to participate in trick-or-treating still. But I wasn't too keen on at the time wanting to eat the candy that the neighborhood provided, even though we lived in what my parents called the suburbs. That didn't seem like the suburbs to me. But coming from the time they were born, I can see why they would call it. To me, it was hell. But nonetheless, even in the suburbs, I didn't trust the people. So I still would trick or treat, but I would eat my own candy that I bought from the store. So I would usually, at that time, I would usually get my candy from like the local Family Dollar, but it still was fun, right? Tell me about it. Rest in peace, Tommy Oliver. But y'all, I was so hurt. That hit me tough. That hit me real tough. It was right up there with losing Michael Jackson, y'all. We lost a Power Ranger that day. I have my bookmarks prepared. Whoa, let me open this so I can pick up where I left off at. I have Hamburger Helper bookmark. I have a bookmark for Hamburger Helper, y'all. Y'all remember when I talked about that? So we have Power Rangers powers compared to the green one. So let me open that up. I do have the link in the description in reference to where I was reading from by way of Wikipedia, but thankfully I'm picking up where I left off. The White Power Ranger, Tommy Oliver, once again, rest in peace. Do I have some green hearts in here for Tommy? Green and white, Hearts. Let me see, green. There's a green heart. Let me put that in there for Tommy, man. Shouts out to Tommy. Put some green hearts. Green hearts. HEAR for Tommy. The White Power Ranger, Tommy Oliver, season 2 and 3 was a significant upgrade in power and durability compared to the Green Power Ranger, Tommy Oliver season 1. Zordon and Alpha 5 created the new White Ranger's powers and the Tiger Zord after Tommy's Green Ranger powers were permanently drained by Lord Zed. I tell you, man, it was like Tommy had what it took, but even still, it wasn't a fair exchange when he was on the dark side, because it was like, you can be great, but only how we determine it to be. It was like, even in his greatness, even though the bad people, Rita, saw how powerful Tommy was, they still didn't want him to have complete control. So it was like, the more power you use, the sooner you burn off. I'm like, what in the entire H is going on, man? You know, I'm like, good mercy. So I'm glad Tommy got his head together and he joined the forces of good, because Rita and Lord Zed were on one. So right here, it's got the White Power. That sounds so bad, don't it? What the The White Power Rangers Season 2, Power Stability. The White Rangers' powers were stable and fully restored, unlike the Green Rangers, which was linked to Rita repulsive spells and consistently decaying. So that was a lot of work. And so I don't think she really intended, having read that, I don't think Rita really intended for Tommy to be there for the whole thing anyways. So in the grand scheme of things, she created Tommy with a backhanded intention, knowing that he was going to fade out anyways. And that's so messed up, because he probably didn't even know that. He was built for one thing and one thing only. And then once his purpose was served, she was going to 86 him anyways. So I'm glad that got out of the way. So the Green Power Ranger Season 1, his powers were unstable. Tied to Rita Repulsa's evil influence, Tommy had to receive frequent energy boosts from Zordon just to maintain his Green Ranger status. Sounds like these energy efficient cars, you know? Yeah, let's go on a 30-mile trip. Oh no, we gotta power up the car already. Dad, we only drove 5 miles up the road. Yeah, but the car's telling me we gotta pull over and power up. Man, I'm over-exaggerating. I'm over-exaggerating about the charging up of the vehicles. I don't even know if I've been in an electric vehicle or not. If I have, I didn't realize it because the car didn't break down. You know, it didn't say, fill up the vehicle with electricity before I can move forward. Man, let me see here. So having said that, thank you, Big Papa. We have here power level. As the White Ranger, Tommy was explicitly more powerful and resilient than he was as the Green Ranger. He is described as the significant upgrade. So now we upgraded Power Rangers. We upgraded people. It makes me think about how the original Power Rangers pretty much aged out of the Power Ranger system. That's how I'm seeing it. And they were replaced with other Power Rangers. To this day, as the Power Rangers got replaced, it still don't sit well with me. I'm reverse crying every time I think about that. You know, why would you replace them? Can you bring the ones that are alive? Harry Potter, the boy who lived. Can you please bring the Power Rangers who are still alive and well? Bring them into some type of movie so it can restore our hope again. I mean, I haven't lost hope. So strengthen our hope some more in this Power Ranger world that we live in. We have power level in reference to the season 1 Green Power Ranger. He was exceptionally strong and formidable, especially when under Rita's evil spell. However, his power level fluctuated and weakened over time. Now, there might be a prompt for me to be able to do another survey until further notice. Last Monday, I had a prompt and it allowed me to ask you guys, which Power Ranger would you want to be? A lot of you guys, it was between the White Ranger and the Green Ranger. Basically, all were saying Tommy because I chose to be the White Ranger. And so I'm asking this, was your reasonings for, how did you feel when choosing the Green Ranger? Being the fact that his power had to be recharged all the time. Obviously, by the majority of us choosing the Green Ranger last Monday, it meant to me that you were cool with the fact that you would have to constantly recharge your energy. For me, I chose the White Ranger because I like the Zords and the weaponry. I thought that was really cool. I don't even think I thought about at the time the fact that the Green Ranger needed to be constantly refueled. I didn't, you know? So let me see here. Let me put this in here. Just a second. Let's see. And let me put that in there. But yeah, I didn't want that because his powers weren't enough. Nonetheless, the White Ranger is what I chose. We have special equipment. The White Ranger suit was equipped with Tiger Power Coin. Oh my gosh, didn't they sell those each it was sold separately at Toys R Us? I'm getting ready to go look that up right now. Let me see here. So the White Ranger power coin. I'm getting ready to go look that up now. What's going on? How are you doing? Thank you for coming in. Good morning. Getting up early. That's what we do. We have to get up early to get the job done.
Your Honor, all rise. The Honorable Judge Shady Court is here. All rise.
Hey, girl. Oh, my gosh. Thank you, guys. Shouts out to Big Papa. He said he will have picked the Green Ranger as well. See, so that's why we're sticking with the two Rangers, because it's basically in the helms of Tommy. So I'm getting ready to look up the power coin to see how to see. I remember I thought that was at Toys R Us. The Power Rangers power coin. I think I saw that when I was younger. I went to the store. How did they have the Toys R Us set up? By that time, Toys R Us was probably on their second remodeling. So the layout of the store had changed again. Man, do y'all remember when you guys' Toys R Us is remodeled all the time? And the layout changed constantly, so you had to refigure out where everything was at. But at least for us, the video game section stayed in the same spot. Ours always stayed to the far left of the store. Every time the store remodeled the video game area, either it expanded or they just put more cages out. Sign of the times. But everything else around that, everything changed. The Power Rangers coin. Let me see. I gotta find it. There it is. And you can find it on SD. That's dope. So I see the coin is right here. You still can actually buy it, and they don't cost that much neither. So that might be something I want to add to the collection. Thank you so much. You most certainly did not have to. I appreciate that so much. Thank you so much. We have special equipment with the White Ranger. He's got the Tiger Power Coin, a powerful energy source used to transform and summon his Zord. And then, in reference to the green side of it all, he wore the Dragon Shield, a gold vest-like accessory that granted him an extra layer of protection and boosted his strength. Y'all gonna make me want to go online on Amazon and start looking through some more Power Rangers outfits. Now, I don't even have to wait till Halloween to dress up. Isn't it obvious? So I'm usually dressing up in something crazy throughout the entire year. So it's like another ordinary day for me and the people who see me walking around in public in this thing. Sometimes when my husband and I are going out for our morning walks, I'll have this on or another kind, and sometimes the people be blowing their horns and I'll be like, oh man. And they'll be waving and stuff. Every once in a while that'll happen, but we pick our times. We do pick our times, and sometimes on the days we do pick our times, we still see traffic and they'll be like, da, 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 da. So yeah, man, I got to be comfortable. And in this day and age, the way these people dressing, going to the grocery store nearly next to nothing, I'm quite sure I won't get cited for indecent exposure for being in a onesie. Onesie, moo moo moo, moo moo, moo moo moo, onesie, hey. Okay, let me move down the chart. We've got the Zord. The White Ranger commanded the White Tiger Zord, a more advanced and powerful machine than the Dragon Zord. It could convert into a humanoid warrior mode and combine with the 4 other Thunder Zords from the Mega Tiger Zord. Just reading all that, I'm seeing all the pictures replay back in my mind from the TV of how they did form like that. Man, you know how much cooler life would be if the Power Rangers actually existed? Man, that would be so cool. So would you want Transformers to exist or Power Rangers to exist? Ooh. Wow. I'm like, don't make me choose. I mean, because both of them are my buddies. We've got Transformers and we've got Power Rangers. Wow, that is a tough question. Now, that's so tough to the point I need to take out my clipboard. Hey, how you doing? I need to take out my clipboard and write that down because that's looking like what I may want to talk about next Monday. So until further notice, thanks to all of you cool people, I figured out a topic for next Monday. So let me write it down. Transformers or Power Rangers. Choose one. No! Even by me saying that out loud, it's like torture, man. That's torture. That's right up there with that Saw guy. Do you want to play a game? Ah! Y'all, that is never in my life do I ever want to hear that. Do you want to play a game? I'm like, I've been good. I've been good. I'm a good woman. No. I do not want to hear that, man. Everybody who was in those Saw movies, they be like, I didn't do nothing wrong. I was a good person. And then the Saw person would be playing back tapes, speaking in code, talking about October 31st, 1943. You did something and you never asked for forgiveness. I'm like, what in the entire age are you watching me? So Saw, having said that, is a good movie, but in real life, I don't want to ever want to witness or experience him. So I have Transformers versus Power Rangers. Choose one. And I have that written down, memo to myself. And then for the last chart, I finally made it down to the bottom of this chart, guys. I picked up where I left off last Monday. For the White Ranger, Tommy becomes the official leader of the Mighty Morphin Power Rangers, taking over from Jason. How did y'all feel when, Tommy took over Jason's part in the Power Rangers? Did you feel some type of way? Like, why are they doing this? What's happening to Jason? Because he was the first leader, man. He was the Red Ranger, the one and only leader. How could you take his position of power away from him like that? At that time, because of course I was much younger, I was like, Power Rangers at that time came out in 94? So I was like in 4th grade when Power Rangers was really jumping off in my life. So I was in like 4th grade when Power Rangers really started jumping off in my life like that. So that was my first time ever witnessing something in front of me where when you run an organization, there's a leader, but I didn't know that a leader could be replaced. So that's what that particular episode/series of Power Rangers introduced to me. I'm like, wow, I thought once a leader, always a leader. But in Power Rangers, it put a whole nother thought process in my head. And I thought that was really cool. And then in reference to the Green Ranger, fires the combat role. Originally introduced as an evil agent of Rita, he later became an auxiliary member of the team due to his unstable powers. Now, having said that, I want AI Overview to roll us out a summary of the timeline of the transition from Tommy being the Green Ranger to the White Rangers. Power Rangers in space. Man, last week I read all of the available Power Rangers series that ever been made, and it's like 28. It's like 28 of them. Although the list said 31, it only provided us with 28. So, yeah, we've got Power Rangers in space. That was Power Rangers in space, man. I remember that. Good mercy. So I'm getting ready to ask for, can you... And good morning to you. Thank you for coming in, Power Rangers in Space. Oh my gosh. Did you ever get a chance to see the Power Rangers in Space birthday cakes for every season of Power Rangers? When they change like the theme, it comes out with a new birthday cake. So at my time, Power Rangers was first introduced to me when they first came out in the 90s, 94. The Power Ranger birthday cakes weren't hitting for anything when they first came out. So I didn't care for the Power Rangers cakes, but over the time, the Power Rangers cakes, I think, did evolve. What's going on, Chile? High five. Bam. We've got all our cool peeps in the chat. We're hanging out, having a good time. I was currently talking about the Power Ranger birthday cakes that came out in 94. They weren't all that good. I mean, they just came out, but the cakes were just it was just too much of one color. It was like too much black on the birthday cake and not enough Power Rangers, So Over time, as the seasons developed and evolved, so did the Power Rangers birthday cakes. So I can't say that. Yeah. Yup, like at Myers. Now, not every state has a store called Myers, but every state has their specific store, but when I was growing up, we had a store called Myers. So that was the go-to place to get your special birthday cakes. And they will have a really cool book you flip through in the bakery. And I wanted a Power Ranger cake one year, and I didn't like the design, and it didn't come with toys. I'm like, whatever, I'm leaving. So the question I'm figuring out how to type in is in reference to the the history of the Green Ranger turning into the White Ranger. So that's going to put, can you please, of how the Green Ranger eventually EVENTUALY turned into the White Ranger. So now wait for the AI overview to load that up. What's going on, Chile? There we go. Can you please provide a story of how the Green Ranger eventually turned into the White Ranger? Shouts out to AI overview. We've got an answer. Tommy Oliver's transition from the Green Ranger to the White Ranger was a major storyline that spanned the end of season 1 and the beginning of season 2 of Mighty Morphin Power Rangers, y'all. This is cool. Green Ranger's decline. Tommy's time as the Green Ranger was always on borrowed time. See, yeah, that's what I was trying to explain, but I believe you guys knew what I was talking about. But it was unbeknownst to Tommy, though. Unbeknownst to Tommy. Tommy was on borrowed time, and he didn't even know that. Only Rita knew that. So Tommy's time as the Green Ranger was always on borrowed time. And let me move this. New folder, Power Rangers. Save it to Power Rangers. Done. His original powers were derived from the evil magic of Rita Repulsa, not the Morphin's grid like the other Rangers. The green candles. So here we go. We're about to get a breakdown, y'all. Wow. The green candle in season 1. Rita used the magic green candle made from the wax Tommy had touched to drain his powers. The candle burned down over time, weakening Tommy. He ultimately had to give his dragon power coin to Jason, the Red Ranger, so that the powers of the Dragazord could be preserved, effectively retiring as the Green Ranger. Now, I thought that was cool because there was a multiple power struggles within this whole season of it. We had Rita feeling a little weak and down and out, according to my understanding that the Power Rangers are always kicking her behind. And then she took advantage of Tommy at his time in his life. So that's another power struggle. And then convincing Tommy to join over to the dark side. Unbeknownst to himself, Rita had bad intentions in place for Tommy. And then in addition to that, Tommy was like fighting against himself because he, was trying to be, he started to want to be a good person, but he was on the side of evil. And to me, he was realizing what was going on and he was losing his powers. And then on top of that, he had all this cool power, but he was losing it at the same time. So the gift that he had just got, even though it was wrong, he was going to have to give it to somebody else. So I really thought that was cool how Power Rangers introduced to us in 1993-94 all of these power. Thank you so much, Chile. Thank you so much for coming in. High five, bam! Thank you so much. Yay! Thank you. Thank you. So yeah, so all of those power struggles were within that one season in a few episodes that I thought was cool. So we have temporary return. And I'm reading from The Green Ranger's Decline, brought to you by AI Overview. Due to his deep loyalty to the team, Tommy was later able to get his powers back temporarily by receiving energy from Zordon's command center. Shouts out to Zordon, who stayed behind the glass. Shouts out to the man behind the glass, the modern day Wizard of Oz. But the only difference between Zordon, the man behind the glass, was Zordon's magic was real, opposed to the Wizard of Oz, who was all fake. Bells and whistles and no power. Let me get a sip of water, please. Excuse me. Alright, so Lord Zed's arrival. Lord Zed's arrival. With the arrival of new, more powerful villain, Lord Zed in Season 2, the already awakened Green Ranger's powers were put under even more strain. See? They always want more. It's just never enough, y'all. Lord Zed created a green crystal to siphon off the last of Tommy's energy and power his own Dark Rangers. That's terrible. Green, no more. Tommy was forced into a final battle where he used the very last of his Green Ranger energy to help his friends defeat a monster. He demorphed for the last time. His power coin now completely drained and useless. Wow, we've got this. The creation of the White Ranger. Wow, this is good, y'all. This is really good. It's like, instead of eating these Fruit Loops while I'm reading this, I want popcorn. So we're rolling into the creation of the White Ranger. After losing the Green Ranger's powers forever, Zordon and Alpha 5 began working in secret to create a new, more stable Power Ranger identity. They needed a power energy source that was immune to evil magic to prevent a repeat of Tommy's situation. So I liked how they came together to figure out what the heck to do, because they really didn't want to lose Tommy, which shows the humanity of being good. It's like, it shows so many parallels before I even knew how to use the word parallels when I was younger. It showed that despite of Tommy being mean and evil and coming against the side of good, even through all that, Zordon and that other cute little robot who talked like this, oh my gosh, oh my gosh, oh my gosh, they were able to look through all that and really sort out the good and the bad of why Tommy was Tommy in the first place, and want to help preserve him and, give him a better life. So basically they forgave him. So that was cool. So the quest. In the multi-part episode White Light, it was called White Light, Zordon sent Tommy on a special secret quest to a distant planet. At a mystical temple, Tommy was tested by a scientist. I think that word says scientist, or no, a sentient talking saber named Saba to prove he was worthy and pure of heart. Wow. Attack of will. During the trial, Lord Zed appeared in a vision and tempted Tommy to accept the dark side of power. If this is not sounding like Star Wars, y'all, Star Wars is coming out sometime this week. It's coming on AMC. I'm not sure they're going to be playing Star Wars all month or not, but it's supposed to be set. So, yeah. So Lord Zed appeared in the vision and attempted Tommy to accept the dark side of power. But Tommy refused, stating he would rather die than use evil powers, y'all. Wow. Worthiness proven. After passing the test, Saba bestowed the new white light power upon Tommy. The White Ranger was powered by the light of goodness and could never be corrupted by evil forces. That is dope. The reveal. The other Rangers were initially unaware of the new White Ranger's identity. It was a mystery unto us all. In the dramatic reveal at the Commander Center, the new, more powerful White Ranger materialized in the beam of light and removed his helmet, shocking and thrilling his friends as it was Tommy. He was then installed as the official leader of the Power Rangers. Wow. So before I get to talking, let me type in my next question. Why was Tommy chosen to be the new Power Rangers leader? Wow, man, this is so good. Power Rangers. So AI overview is loading that up for me. Quick, fast, and a hurry too. Wow. Cow. Shouts out to everybody in the chat and my cool peoples. The time is 5:46 a.m. ET time. Good morning to all of you. I hope you're having a safe commute to and from work or to school. I'm having a good time helping move power through your work week. Let's see here. So here's my question. Why was Tommy chosen to be the new Power Rangers leader? Y'all ready to find out? Tommy Oliver was chosen as the new leader of the Power Rangers for both in-universe and behind-the-scene reasons. What? In-universe reasons. Proven worthiness. Tommy had just proved himself worthy of the powerful new white light energy source during the dangerous quest, demonstrating a pure heart and unwavering commitment to good, which made him an obvious and dependable choice for leadership. So what they're trying to say, Jason wasn't dependable? Was Jason showing signs of wanting to go do other things? What's going on? This was around the time I was reading where they were saying, was it Kelly and Jason were starting to go international, meaning in the Power Rangers season or saga, they started to get invitations to speak around the world. So I'm thinking that's what happened. They needed another Ranger to replace Jason anyways, because they were starting to do other things. Other things in the realm of the series of Power Rangers. So in universe reasons, in reference to why was Tommy chosen to be the new Power Ranger leader, proven worthiness. Strong character and skills is where I'm at. Since his introduction, Tommy had proven to be an exceptionally skilled martial artist and a formidable fighter, often holding his own against the most powerful monsters. His strong will and heroic drive evident to Zordon. Need for a new leader. So this might be my question. Hi, hello, good morning, good afternoon. How are you doing? Hi. Yay. Aw, thanks for coming in. Hi. Need for a new leader. Zordon was aware that Jason, the current Red Ranger and leader, along with Zach and Trini, would soon be leaving for the World Teen Summit in Switzerland. That's it. That's it. So yeah, they were going around, they were starting to travel around the world now. A storyline used to explain the actor's departure. Zordon chose Tommy to ensure a seamless transition of leadership. So basically, they were growing up in front of our eyes, literally, and onto the show. So I really didn't want to see them go away, but it's part of growing up. But it showed transitions that, there's life after high school. If only I was able to hold on to that thought when I was older. Meaning that there's life after high school. I mean, you don't have to go to college after high school, because sure enough, Zach didn't and Trinity didn't. They went to they went around the world and started being spokesmen and ambassadors, So you don't necessarily have to do that. So potential for growth in the comics continue. What does it say? Potential for growth in the comics continuity. Zordon explicitly states that he hoped the leadership role would help Tommy realize his full potential, much in the same way it had Jason's. Wow, behind the scenes. Okay, let's read about this behind the scenes thing. Just 1 second. Let me put this on here. Y'all, I am so happy for AI being here, a part of our world at this time, because it's making life for me a lot easier. Take advantage of it in a good way while it's here. So we have here behind the scenes reasons. So we have behind the scenes reasons of why was Tommy chosen to be a new Ranger. The second part of this is actor contract disputes. What? So behind the scenes don't mean Power Rangers behind the scenes, like a backstory of what the Power Rangers are doing in their daily lives. The behind the scenes have to do something with actual humans and contractual obligations. Wait a minute, I have to read this. Actor contract disputes. The primal real-world reason was that the actors playing Jason, Austin St. John's, playing Zach, named Walter Jones, and Trini, Tai Trang, were leaving the show due to contract and pay disputes. No! Producers needed a new leader for the remaining cast. So you mean to tell me the Power Rangers had basically split up due to money? So this probably, I thought the split was too soon. Thank you for coming in. Man, tell me about it, Big Papa. We lost like three Rangers or 4 people in general. I went through that list last Monday and we lost a lot of people in reference from Power Rangers, the Mighty Morphin Power Rangers, man. Thank you for coming in for South Africa. Welcome in. So yeah, just think, if they had their money issues squared away, I wouldn't have felt some type of way, because I thought that the original gang was just getting started. So for them to just waltz off and leave like that, I felt some type of way. So just imagine if they had their affairs in order, they probably would have been on for at least maybe through 1996, 97, then I could understand, because we will be able to see them growing up, you know? And it wouldn't have looked right, but they could have simply asked them if they wanted to stay on and be like working in the place where they hung out at or something, you know. Then I would have been more able to accept the change in power, because it's obvious it would have been obvious in front of our face that they are really growing up. You know, the guys have mustaches and stuff, and their voices are deeper. They don't look our age anymore. That's terrible. They wanted to get their fair share. The show was making money. So it was kind of like, do you think it was like one of those situations where, what's that podcast show? You think it was a Math Hoffa situation? Man, that's what it sounds like it was turning out to be. Man. So it's got character popularity. Tommy, as the behind the scenes section, it has character popularity. Tommy, as the Green and later White Ranger, was incredibly popular with fans. Definitely. I was one of those people who really liked the new Ranger's transformation, and his toys were top sellers. Making him the leader was a business savvy move to keep the show's most popular character front and center. Stock footage availability. So it says here, stock footage availability. The original Green Ranger footage from the Japanese show Ranger had run out. Oh, okay. The White Ranger costume was from a different Japanese series called Ranger, and the producers used this new footage, making the character a central part of the show's new direction and a logical focal point for their leadership role. Yeah, now was he actually one of those people in real life? He did mixed martial arts in real life? So if that's the case, in reference to what you were saying, the show was making money, they wanted to get their fair share, Big Papa. Do you think that based on, in the back then, do you think their pay was based on merit? Meaning like based on what you actually brought to the table? And perhaps since you said Tommy actually was a professional on what he did, that increasingly bumped up his pay, and the other Rangers effed around and found out how much Tommy was making, and they felt some type of way about it. See, he did his own fights, just like Bruce Lee, man. So of course, rightfully so, he will get more money because he actually knew what he was doing. So that could be a possibility. Let me pre-type that in there and see. Did Tommy get paid more money because he was an actual professional? So, after I finish reading this last paragraph, I'm going to see if that was a possibility. Thank you for that valuable information. Ultimately, I'm stumbling over my words this morning. So it says, Zordon's decision to make Tommy the White Ranger and the new leader was presented in the show as a natural progression of his heroic journey and practical decision to maintain team stability during the original Red Ranger's departure. So we have, did Tommy get paid more because he was in an actual MMA professional? We're about to see. Wow. So I have an answer in here, and I'm not sure how clear it is. So this is what AI Overview said, but once again, with AI Overview, you cannot take it as gospel, but it's a great compass to help get you going through the day. So it says here, Jason Frank was not an MMA professional during his time on Mighty Morphin Power Rangers, but I beg to differ, because weren't they showing things on Saturday night specials per se, where they would show the day in the life of a Power Ranger, and they were actually showing Tommy fighting? So once again, AI is due to make mistakes. So having said that, I'm with you, Big Papo, in reference to Tommy. So yes, I wasn't talking about Jason, I was talking about Tommy. So of course, boy, once again, AI is bound to make mistakes. So nonetheless, let me put it. It said, no, Jason David Frank was not an MMA professional during his time on Mighty Morphin Power Rangers. He became a professional MMA fighter in the year 2010, long after the original series was produced. Therefore, his MMA background did not affect his salary during the show. I might have to rephrase the question. Let me see here. We have, let me see what I have here. So regarding his pay for Power Rangers, the original cast members were paid a meager salary, with Austin St. John stating they earned around $600 per week during the non-union production. Jason David Frank's initial contract was only for 10 episodes, and he was originally paid less than the other Rangers. Wow. It's speculated. That's right, he started fighting years after the show. Okay, so in my memory then, they probably did have like a day in the life of the Power Rangers. You know how they would have special episodes on Saturday night, let's just say. I'm saying Saturday night, but like on the weekends where they would show interviews of them being Power Rangers. So perhaps when they were showing them fighting and stuff, the stuff looked real to me. They were showing them doing all that fighting and stuff, but he was trained. So yeah, that's why it still looks so good. So technically he still knew what he was doing, and maybe more so than the others. Okay. See? So it says Jason David Frank's initial contract was only for 10 episodes, and he was originally paid less than the other Rangers. Excuse me. It's speculated that his salary may have increased when he returned as the more popular White Ranger, but the original actors were still generally underpaid for the show's massive success. Thank you very much. Man, I think this is the first time I've sneezed on live stream before. That was neat. High five to myself. The original red, black, and yellow Rangers, Austin St. John's, Walter Jones, and Ty Tring, left the show partly due to pay disputes. Frank, along with Amy Jo Johnson and David Yost, chose to stay, which some sources speculated resulted in them receiving a raise. Oh man, I know, right? Thankfully, I had my little rag with me to prevent something like that happening on this polished, professional live stream. It's the only way to be prepped and polished and professional, like Gail King. Oh Lord, y'all hear about Gail King? Is it true she's fired? Man, crying shame. I like being a YouTube streamer because I can eat food on a live stream. I don't have to dress up and report the news. Ultimately, the producers capitalized on the actors' eagerness to work for exposure and kept production costs low, which led to the actors receiving very little money while the franchise made billions. Yeah, that's not fair. That's not fair. I'm not sure how much was that $600 a week or a month they were getting? The original cast members were paid a meager salary, with Austin St. John stating they earned around $600 a week during the non-union production. So, they got $600 a week in the early 90s. Heck, $600 a week today is still a lot to me, but based on what they're talking about, that they were the stars of the show, that's still messed up. That's still messed up, man. That's terrible. So that's why they ended up leaving, and a few of them did stay, but doggone it, that's terrible. That was nothing. Dang, man. So, ultimately, the producers capitalized on the actors' eagerness to work for exposure and kept production costs low, which led to the actors receiving very little money while the franchise made billions. I had to pause on that and just let that rest a minute. That is so totally messed up. So it's like, where are they now? Those who remain, are they living just like you and I, like this regular, which is fine when you're coming from being in a show like that. You would expect and hope that they're a little bit more well off than where we are. Wow. What's the history of Power Rangers actor contract disputes? Ooh, now that's a good question. we have here, let me see. Let me paste that in there. It says here, there's 3 questions that are prompted. Did Jason David Frank's later Power Rangers role involve higher pay? What's the history of Power Rangers actor contracts disputes? And tell more about JDF's MMA career. We have 3 choices. Which question that has an automatic answer to it, which one do you want me to read? Question 1, did Jason David Frank's later Power Ranger role involve a higher pay? That's question number 1. Question number 2 is, what's the history of Power Rangers actor contract disputes? Or question 3, tell me more about JDF's MMA career. Which one do you want to know about? Oh my gosh. We're already over 15 minutes into this live stream? Good mercy. We've only just begun. I have a survey here, and 53 of my cool peeps have responded. Let me see what you guys are talking about. Did you eat too much candy over the weekend? 34% said yes, 45% said no, 6% said I ate cookies and cakes instead, and that sounds great too. And 15% said I just drank water. Here we go. I ate a lot of candy in my personal opinion. I think I did. I think I ate a lot of candy. But not to the point where I was going to get sick though. I made sure of that. So I didn't want to overindulge until the point where I got sick, but I had a good time. I'm waiting for this thing to load so I can move forward. There's a question, 3 question prompts that I was able to choose from. And out of the 3, I want to go with option 2. As soon as my thing loads up. Good morning, how are you doing? Loading. You know how it says loading? Okay, cool. I have that squared away. Perfect. Let me minimize that and get it out of the way. I want to read here. What's the history of the Power Rangers actors contract disputes? Maybe it'll tell us more. Chocolate orange. I haven't seen that in a while. That's the candy that's the chocolate orange that comes in a cute little box. And that candy that's often used as stocking stuffers around the holidays. I haven't seen that in a long time. The history of Power Rangers actor contracts disputes revolve primarily around the original non-union production status of Mighty Morphin Power Rangers, MMPR, and resulting in low pay and poor working conditions. You mean to tell me they have poor working conditions too? Yes, that's the chocolate orange candy. Nom nom. That's cool. So let me put this in here. CHOC, chocolate and orange. I'm looking for the orange. There's an orange heart. Everything's loading up so slowly today. Silence! Here it is. Okay. Chocolate orange. There we go. The history of Power Rangers actor contract disputes. The original cast disputes from seasons 1 and 2, guys. The most notable dispute occurred during the transition from season 1 to season 2, involving 3 of the original 6 cast members, so it was split down the middle. Austin St. John, Walter Emmanuel Jones, and Ty. So Austin was Jason Lee Scott, the Red Ranger, Walter, Zach Taylor, the Black Ranger, and Ty was the Yellow Ranger. So these are the 3 Rangers who had issues with the pay, and they unfortunately opted to leave. Boy, I wish they got it together, because I think they left too soon. I didn't like that. I didn't like that at all. It was an early departure. They left too soon. So we have the core issues, brought to you by AI Overview. Extremely low pay. Despite the show becoming a massive global success, generating over $1 billion in merchandise revenue in its first year, the actors were paid a meager salary of approximately $600 per week and received no royalties or residuals from the merchandise sales. Oh, man. Non-union status. The production company Saban Entertainment kept the show non-union, which allowed them to avoid paying union mandate wages, health insurance, and other protections. Sounds like you too. Health insurance and other protections. Actors even reported doing their own unsafe stunts at times. What? They had to do their own stunts? Unequal negotiation. When the show became a hit, the 3 actors united to negotiate for fairer wages and union contracts. They claimed all 6 original actors agreed to negotiate together, but Amy Jo Johnson, the Pink Ranger, and David Yost, the Blue Ranger, and Jason David Frank, Green and White Ranger, ultimately stayed on the show. Replaceable attitude. Producers reportedly fostered an environment where actors felt dispensable, with the person in charge allegedly telling them, "The kids don't like you, they like your colors." Oh my gosh, that is so terrible. It's so not nice. It sounds like we're listening to behind the scenes of Disney. Welcome back. Man, I am reading some stuff on here. It's a deeper dive in the behind the scenes of the unequal pay and the stuff that these poor Rangers had to go through. Not only were they superheroes in the camera, they had to be superheroes behind the scenes based on all the stuff they had to go through. From non-union status, unequal negotiation, the replaceable attitude, where it says here, producers reportedly fostered an environment where actors felt disposable, with the person in charge allegedly telling them, "The kids don't like you, they like the colors." Welcome back, Big Papa. The firing. When St. John Jones and Tran held out on voiceover sessions as part of their protest, the producers fired them and replaced their characters mid-season with new Rangers, Rocky, Adam, and Aisha, using the storyline where the original trio left for a World Team Summit in Switzerland. I remember that. I didn't know that they left under bad circumstances like that. That is so awful. They stood up for themselves and then they ended up losing their jobs just like that. I don't know what they did after that, because what if they were living on their own, and even though they wanted more pay, they still were able to make a living, you know? So just like that, What did they do to survive? What did they do to survive? I mean, there was I'm quite sure they saw the storm coming ahead, that when things started to get shaky in reference to them wanting to start questioning more pay, I'm quite sure they probably perceived that something was going to happen. But not so swiftly, though. Later disputes. David Yost's departure. David Yost left the show during Power Rangers Zeo. I remember that. Zeo! Power Rangers Zeo! Yeah! Oh, wow. Power Rangers Zeo and the Heezy. So he left Power Rangers Zeo during the alleged... Oh, no. How can I say this? He was getting... How can I say this? David Yost left the show during Power Rangers Zeo due to alleged... How can I say this? Well, let's just say, translation, he wasn't being nice to the rainbow community and was being a bully on the set. So yes, David Yost left the show during Power Rangers Zeo due to alleged being mean to them and bullying on the set. He stated caused him to become, oh no, it made him want to become to the point where he wanted to end his own life. Y'all, it got dark. He was bullying supposedly. Yeah, this was a separate issue from the main fictional, the financial dispute. That's crazy. So it was a lot of stuff going on. Other actors. So he was supposedly a bully? No. Other actors who replaced the original, such as Steve Cardenas, Rocky the Second Red Ranger, also faced pay discrepancies, and he left the franchise later for similar reasons. So they didn't even learn from their first lesson. So they're like, excuse me, they're not getting their lesson. They're kicking people out left and right and just moving forward like, well, we'll be better the next time. It's not going to work that way. So he left. Amy Jo Johnson's choice. Amy Jo Johnson eventually chose to leave the series to pursue other acting opportunities. Acting opportunities, but has stated her reason for not participating in the recent Once and Always reunion was not money but personal choice. Oh man, Saban was being cheap, unbelievably cheap. They're losing good players, man. They're losing great soldiers on here. That's terrible. Now, I like to be frugal, but not to the point where it's hurting the people around me. You know, you may want Chips Ahoy's, but if there's a list of personal snack choice requests for everybody to be able to get something on the grocery list, at least one thing, we're going to have to get the store brand or whatever's, cheap, Yeah. Hey, thank you. We just had to kick a couple of people. Well, not a couple of people. I had to kick off somebody. But yes, everything's going great. How's everything going with you? Yeah. Welcome back, Chile. High five, bam. So yeah, that's crazy. So they're on their second Red Ranger. He said good. So they're on their second Red Ranger, about to be their third Red Ranger, because they haven't even learned their lesson. Resolution. The contract issue and poor working conditions continued for years, but the series eventually became a unionized production after Hasbro acquired the franchise in 2018. That's years later, y'all. 1993, 94, all the way to 2018, they finally get it in their heads that they need to be better to their people. It took them that long. The original actors who returned for modern specials were or convention appearances are now paid fairly under the current union guidelines. Oh man, I wish all those Power Rangers were alive. I'm wondering if they were treated fairly, that the Rangers who passed away would have lived to have lived longer. So that answers my question I was going to ask. In this last paragraph, it says, Amy Jo Johnson's choice. She did not want to come back and reunite for the once and always reunion. And she said it had nothing to do with money, but it was her personal choice. So maybe she felt some type of way. You know, she left it. She got a dream job. She got to be a Power Ranger. But when you look back at it, at what account, on what expense, or the fact that the original Power Rangers weren't getting treated fairly, and they demanded to have a pay increase, and they got booted out. It'd be kind of like, man, I would feel kind of weird having the Power Rangers job on that regards. It wouldn't feel as illustrious as if it simply was they aged out because of natural design, and so we needed a younger face to comfortably so replace the Power Rangers. I would feel really comfortable if that opportunity happened to me like that. But the way it happened, I wouldn't feel right taking it, because I'm like, if you just paid them their money, you guys wouldn't be looking for replacement Power Rangers to begin with. Not until well and down, years on down. So, yeah, based on that, I would feel some type of way, but nonetheless, she was a Power Ranger. So I want to read a little bit more about this. I want to know about this once and always reunion. I would like to know more about the Power Rangers once and always reunion. So I'll wait for that to upload. Once and always reunion. You guys really tore it up today with the surveys. So here we go, about to learn about the Power Rangers once and always reunion here. And let me put here. And copy and paste, put that in there, followed by something cute. Let's see here, what do we have here? Ooh, look at soup. Can I put the soup in there? Will the soup show up? The soup showed up. Ladies and gentlemen, the soup showed up. There. And let me put this in here. Loading. Copy. Hey, what's going on? Thank you for coming in. I am up here getting some things together in the background. So I'm on the part where it says, I would like to know more about the Power Rangers once and always reunion. Now, I knew that the Power Rangers had several reunions. Let's say that for sure. But the thing is, I didn't know it had like a title for it. So I'm going to read more about it, because what I'm curious about is why one of the Power Rangers didn't want to return to it. So Mighty Morphin Power Rangers Once and Always is a 2023 scripted Netflix special that commemorates the 30th anniversary of the Power Rangers franchise, bringing back several cast members from the original series for a new adventure and serving as a poignant tribute to the late original Yellow and Green Rangers. Wow. This is hot. I like this information. Plot summary, guys. The special is set 30 years after the events of the original series. The villain Robo Rita Repulsa returns and uses a time machine to capture various Power Rangers across history, planning to 86 their past lives, their past selves, before Zordon even recruited them. Wow, that's heavy. not playing fair. During the battle, the original Yellow Ranger, Trini Kwan, sacrifices herself to save the Blue Ranger, Billy Crankton. This tragedy sets the stage for the main story, as the remaining veteran Rangers, including the original Black Ranger, Zach Taylor, who becomes the legal guardian of Trini's teenage daughter, Min, must reunite to stop Rita. Driven by a desire for revenge, Min eventually takes her mother's place as the new Yellow Ranger, and the team works together to defeat Robo Rita. Not Robo Rita! Ha! Now she wants to have a robot of her own? That's funny. So we have here, the team works together to defeat Robo Rita, save their captured friends including Jason, Kimberly, and Tommy. The returning cast. The special featured a mix of actors from the first two generations of Mighty Morphin Power Rangers. David as the Blue Ranger, Walter Emmanuel Jones, Zach the Black Ranger, Steve as Rocky DeSantos, the second Red Ranger, and Catherine Sutherland as Catherine Cat, the second Pink Ranger. Johnny Young as Adam Park, the second Black Ranger, Karen Ashley, the second Yellow Ranger known as Aisha, Charlie Kirsch, Min Kwan, Trini's daughter, and the new Yellow Ranger. Look at it, it's a family affair. Ha! That's cool. Barbara Goodson as the voice of Robo Rita Repulsa. Richard Stevenson as the voice of Alpha 5 and Alpha 8. So that's really cool. So they brought the whole squad to this thing here. We've got notable AdSense and tributes. Noticeable absences and tributes. The special also addresses the real-life absences of other original cast members. So here we go. Tai Tran, the original Yellow Ranger. Tran tragically passed away in a car accident in 2001. The character Trinis is killed early in the special, and the entire storyline with her daughter Min is a dedication and tribute to her legacy. That's awful. So did they use her real life daughter? Did the original Yellow Ranger have kids in real life? Jason David Frank, Green and the White Ranger. Frank had expressed an intent to distance himself from the franchise to focus on other projects. Wow, he didn't even want to be there. Jason David Frank had expressed an intent to distance himself from the franchise to focus on other projects and did not appear in the special. After his passing in November 2022, the special was posthumously dedicated to his memory, ending with a touching montage of classic footage featuring both Frank and Trang. I would have been crying if I saw that. Amy Jo Johnson, original Pink Ranger. Johnson declined the offer to return for personal reasons, though she later clarified it was not due to money. Her character Kimberly is among the Rangers captured early on. In Austin St. John's, original Red Ranger. St. John's was unable to travel for the filming due to legal issues he was facing at the time, unrelated to the show itself. His character Jason is also captured by Robo Rita. This special was praised for its balance and cheesy nostalgia, action, and more mature emotional handling of themes like grief and legacy. Wow, no, that was good. Now, this definitely was a good wrap-up to, y'all, just the Mighty Morphin Power Rangers. The Power Rangers that originally started for my time in the 1993-94s. What's going on, Benji? High five! Welcome in. I just finished reading about the, what is it called? Let me scroll up to the top. I wanted to know more about the Power Rangers Once and Always reunion. That's all right. I had a season where I was constantly having doctor's appointments. But that's good you're having appointments. Heck. Very good. Yes. So what's prompted me to want to talk about the Power Rangers Once and Always reunion is because the Yellow Ranger, one of the Rangers, didn't want to appear there. And I had no idea that the Tommy, the White and Green Ranger, he didn't want to be there. And he didn't pass yet. He didn't transition yet, but he didn't even want to be a part of it. He wanted to put some distance between the whole Power Ranger life and do something else. Did you know that? Yeah, so it says here, Jason David Frank, Green White Ranger, had expressed an intent to distance himself from the franchise to focus on other projects and did not appear in the special. He didn't even want to be a part of the special, y'all. That's crazy. But to each his own, They probably didn't want to be known just for that one thing. I don't know how I would handle that. If I were a Power Ranger and that was my breakout role, I wouldn't feel that bad of just being known for one thing. I think it's just about how comfortable you feel with that. To each his own. It's no different from probably going to high school and being the class clown. Quite naturally, you're funny, but when you grow up, you're not just the class clown anymore. You're more than that. So I can understand that. That was really good. So I've read that, and I have all my questions answered up to this point in reference to the Mighty Morphin Power Rangers. There's many other Power Rangers chapters that we haven't even scratched the surface on. But my focus was the Mighty Morphin Power Rangers, the season 1 and 2, and the emphasis on the White Ranger and the Green Ranger. Because last Monday, when all of you guys were here as well, I was able to participate. There's a prompt that YouTube allowed me to put up on the screen to ask you all which Power Rangers you would want to be, and most of us picked it was either the Green Ranger or the White Ranger, and myself, I chose the White Ranger. So it led us into comparing and contrasting both powers, the green powers versus the white powers, and the deep surface on who Tommy was in the Power Rangers and the whole transitioning. Me figuring out the surface of the whole transitioning thing had nothing to do with what I originally thought, guys. I thought that the Power Rangers were just aging out because they were getting older, like in real time. No, come to find out today, it had everything to do with them wanting more money. And by them standing up for themselves and wanting more money, they didn't even have health insurance, y'all. That's crazy. And it said every once in a while they had to do their own stunts, which was probably dangerous. So they were standing up for more pay, and they ended up getting fired because of that. So it had nothing to do with them aging out like Disney growing up. It had everything to do with them wanting to have more money, and they let them go. So I can't say I can get rid of that old thought and process of what I always thought since the early 90s of why the original Power Rangers left. It had nothing to do with what I thought. Even though my reasoning sound logical, under the surface, I still felt some type of way that wasn't right. Even though I didn't know how to express it completely, I just knew that. So years later, here's my answer, and it's so sad. I really think things would have turned out quite a lot better had they just negotiated with them. So I've read everything in reference to the Power Rangers, and I'm wrapping it up on that. You guys have anything you want to chat about before I head out of here? Benji, you have a great time at your appointments. Be safe, and I wish you well, that you get positive results and a lot of traction on everything, so you don't have to be going back and forth, I hope today you get every answer you need to your questions, because that's how I would have wanted it to be for me when I had to do all that stuff. So let me go on my chart here. I can close all this out. Perhaps that'll help allow me to see things. I started the beginning of the show reading about the flower of the day. To the flower of the day for November, there's 2 different kinds, guys. There is Galatius. It's spelled, I'm probably saying it wrong. It's Gladious. A tall flower with vibrant colors. It can symbolize strength of character, faithfulness, and infatuation. And the other flower for November is the poppy, a flower that often represents remembrance, but can also symbolize sleep, peace, and consolation. So that's the flower of the day, guys, for November. Who would have thought that November would have 2 flowers? But they gotta be pretty. I like the month of November because of the ever-changing leaves and stuff. How else could you? Now, how else is there to think of the month of November? And hot chocolate. So I'm ending the poll right here. You guys really turned up on here. We have did you eat too much candy over the weekend? 44% said no, you were being responsible. 37% said yes. 14% said I just drank water. And 5% said I ate cookies and cakes instead. I'm here for the cookies and cakes because that's just as sweet as candy. It's the same thing. So high five to the cookies and cakes. And cookies and cakes sound great, don't they? That's like what you're going to have for November when turkey season comes along. If you guys are celebrating stuff like that. Turkey season. Yes. Wow, no way. Not a frozen PB&J. Exactly. Last week's show was epic. So much to the point we will be talking about more peanut butter and jelly. We'll be talking about jelly and stuff tomorrow. So we have the frozen peanut butter and jelly. Thank you so much for your warm words. We are doing well. I opened the show this morning saying that it's a peaceful morning, no different from last night. Last night was peaceful. The night before last was peaceful. Heck, even my Halloween was peaceful. I only heard one ambulance through the whole day and the night of Halloween. I think everybody was on their best behavior. And I didn't overeat candy. Even though I participated, I had candy and I had popcorn. Ooh, I had a really nice time. Thank you so much for coming in, and the same for you as well. I want your family to continue to do well while you eat your frozen peanut butter and jelly sandwiches. That is funny. So I've reached the end of my Power Rangers saga, and I came to an answer. And come to find out, the Power Rangers, the original Power Rangers guys, didn't transition off of the set because they aged out. They got fired. And the reason the 3 Power Rangers got fired is because they were standing up for what was right, meaning they wanted raises. I didn't know they didn't have health insurance, and at times they had to do their own stunts. And then behind the scenes, they felt like they were not important. There was someone who worked over them constantly saying that the people who are watching you aren't watching the Power Rangers because of you. They're watching the Power Rangers because of their favorite color Power Ranger, blue, pink, green, or whatever. And so that's why they aren't there. They got fired. That's too bad. Hi, thank you for coming in. Thank you so much, you guys, for your support, liking, sharing, commenting, and subscribing. Mondays and Tuesdays we have the morning moo, of course. Monday moo, morning motivation. Let's power moo. Monday madness. It is my job. I took on the responsibility to help you and moo power moo your work week. Happy Monday, everybody. And on Wednesdays, we have Basket Head. It's the very intentionally long live stream show with Basket Head, where I come on at 5. Well, Basket Head comes on at 5 a.m. in the morning. Now, who knows how long the stream will be? Hi, thank you for coming in. Moo. Boo! I tell you, when I eat breakfast food and I'm drinking milk, I had to have a 2-cup minimum. You know, a 2-cup minimum to get me started when I'm drinking milk. So on where am I? On Thursdays, Freestyle Thursdays. Who knows what in the world I'll be talking about on Thursdays? Heck, I don't even be knowing what I'm gonna talk about until right until I get ready to press start. Sometimes I know ahead of time so I can change the thumbnail. But Freestyles Thursdays is random stuff. And on Fridays, your boy Hercules the Shark. You guys, have you seen Hercules the Shark? Did you see him last Friday? It was a mess. He's going through a whole bunch of stuff. For those of you who don't know, not only do we have a cow on here on Mondays and Tuesdays, on Fridays, Fish Fry Fridays, we have Hercules the Shark. And he be barking on, yes, a shark that barks. He be barking on about what's going on at his house, and he's been asking everybody lately for medical advice, which is a bad idea. As you can see in the replay, that I don't think that's working out too well for him. But hey, that's his show. He's got a 30-minute time slot. I'll let him work that out for himself. But I don't advise that. But yeah, that's the schedule, Monday through Fridays, 5 a.m. And then sometimes I include bonus videos between the time of me logging off from an original live stream, sandwiched in between lunchtime. So it's random videos. They're bonus videos. Thank you guys so much for coming in, having a good time with the cool peeps. Hercules. I'll put some sharks in the chat. I like Hercules too. The story of Hercules was he was originally on here scheduled 1 week out of the year for Shark Week. But this particular year, a lot of people liked Hercules the Shark. This was the biggest turnout we had for Hercules come Shark Week. So my crew and I decided to do a survey to see if you guys wanted Hercules to come back. And a lot of you guys said yes. So we had to call on Hercules and tell him, hey, dude, they really like you and they want you to stay longer than Shark Week. Because he was only scheduled to be hosting Shark Week all week. And so, you know, he was happy about it. He was flipping around in the water, doing circles and stuff and moving his fin. He was really happy because I was talking to Hercules the Shark on Messenger by way of video call. And so we penciled him in for the time slot of Fridays, Fish Fry Fridays. No other day because he is a fish. He's a giant fish. So Fish Fry Fridays with Hercules the Shark. And that's how Hercules the Shark made it on every Friday. Because you guys requested him to come back by popular demand. So thank you guys for your support and chiming in the survey and asking for him during the other live streams. Yeah. So this is really cool. So thank you guys so much for your support and your suggestions. Now we have Basket Head. It seems like Basket Head is doing really well. So Basket Head might be a permanent fixture. Basket Head came about because the Ladybug finished her season. Ladybug used to be on every Wednesday talking about the YouTube and all the rules and the changes. But since that, I graduated from there. Now we have a new character. So shouts out and a round of applause to all of my cool peeps. Thank you guys so much. I really dig the audience participation and just being on the scene, seeing this whole thing grow. It's really fun. It's actually better than high school. You know, when you're in high school, you get to be cool, and that's the time where you can be strong and be yourself, even though it's hard. Well, pretty much this is what YouTube is now. You get to be yourself, you know, and have fun. It's like the School of Arts, but in real time. And you'll get to run your own show. So it's like I'm at the Art Institute and I'm having a good time being creative and knowing that there's a place for me, there's a place for everyone. Thank you guys so much for coming in, having a good time hanging with the cool peeps. I want you guys to continue to have a really cool day. And if you're having a bad day, you can still reset your day. You don't have to wait till the next day to have a good day. You can reset your day in the midst of it by going for a walk or making some tea or having a donut or just saying, man, my day is starting to tank. I don't want that to happen, nor do I want the rest of my day to tumble into another bad day. What can I do to turn this around? And in that moment, you might want to play the Batman Lego movie. Wow, that will help turn your day around and all your thought processes. My name is LA, pronounced like LA, like the city. I'm not from there, but I'm breezy. Signing off with the cow song, and it goes a little like this. Thank you so much. Here's a big old hug from me to you. And high 10. Thank you guys. Stay safe. I love you all. Continue to be yourselves. That's the ultimate weapon that you have to combat life's unforeseen circumstances. Being true to yourselves. Until next video, bye.